This video is brought to you by Megacorp, and also, I guess, by Campfire Blaze.
My manuscript is complete! Yes, it is just a first draft, but I'm sure publishers will be falling over each other to publish this. While I wait for the inevitable bidding war, I'll be sure to take the time to scoff at all the lesser writers who are forced to self-publish like the dirty peasants they are. What's this? A rejection letter? Well, who needs traditional publishing anymore? Only pretentious losers care about traditional publishing. I'm going to self-publish.
Not so fast, JP.
Oh, it's my inner critic. What do you want?
I know what you plan to do, JP. You plan to lead innocent writers astray to walk the dark path of self-publishing. I will not stand by as you profane the sacred gatekeepers who keep our precious bookstore safe from your self-published dreck. I alone will champion the righteous cause of traditional publishing.
And I alone will champion the underdogs of self-publishing who use ingenuity and freedom to make their voices heard.
Oh, are we doing slobs versus snobs now? Oh, trite. But I can expect no less from you. Very well, we do battle again. Okay, JP, give it your best shot. Why do you think writers should choose self-publishing?
Ha! Because it's easy. Upload a word processing file to Amazon and bam! Instantly published. No rejection letters required.
Easy, huh? What about graphic design for the book's cover art?
Oh, please. How hard can it be? Graphic design requires no actual skill or talent. I'm sure my MS Paint skills combined with Times New Roman for the title will be more than enough.
Never mind that traditional publishing companies staff specialists and professionals, but you and professional don't exist in the same universe, much less the mere concept even cross your tiny mind filled with only love triangle references. Do you even know how to lay out a book yourself? Let me guess, you use Times New Roman for the font and the text isn't even justified.
Silly inner critic, I don't need a justification to use text.
Justified alignment, you half-wit.
Well, I'm really somewhere between chaotic neutral and neutral evil on the alignment chart.
Do you even know the first thing about typography?
That sounds as boring as you, inner critic. I have more important things to worry about than graphic design or professional layouts. Besides, at least I'll get to choose my own book cover rather than what the publisher thinks will sell well.
What are you talking about? I'm sure the publisher will allow me endless oversight over my book's cover production, especially once they grasp the subtle symbolism of all my book's thematic elements. Surely they'll be willing to compromise with me on the graphical layout of the book.
I'm sure you're right. There must be some other reason that 99.99% of book covers in bookstores all look the freaking same.
Whatever. I'm sure my first book will sell millions of copies. Hey! Did you know, JP, that most self-published authors sell less than 100 books?
Did you know that most YouTube channels dedicated to media criticism have less than 100 subscribers?
You made that up.
Well, technically, the vast majority of YouTube channels have less than 100 subscribers. I thought you would like it when someone uses a minor technicality to win, critic.
Just you wait. My way is the best way to easy money. Hey, that's my line.
Come on, self-publishing is easy money in spite of the lottery odds of success. Remember that the best way to handle a creative career is never save up money and instead spend heavily on luxuries that I'm sure you'll be able to afford eventually. Better to make it an all-or-nothing gamble rather than a calculated business move.
Bah, leave it to you to prattle on and on about the money rather than the art. I'm sure I'll get a six-figure deal for my first book and not have to worry about money while I perfect my art.
Critic, no one is going to give you 6 figures so you can drone on and on about how the color of a flower represents the protagonist's inner longing for deeper meaning in a transient and uncaring world. I mean, not unless you have some people blasting each other with lasers or something. Americans can only tolerate philosophy if it's wrapped in kung fu fights.
Add genre fiction trash to my literary masterpiece? Never. I am certain my magnum opus will garner no rejection letters whatsoever.
Are you sure your expectations are realistic there, inner critic? I mean, handing out terrible writing advice is supposed to be my thing.
The difference between us, JP, is that my writing has depth and nuance. Your writing, by contrast, has cliches and misplaced commas. Besides, even if my sell figures droop a bit, I'm sure the publisher will market the book for me.
You know what? You're right, critic.
I am?
Of course, counting on a publisher to shell out cash to market an unknown, unproven author sounds like a sure bet.
Your endorsement of my position fills me with unimaginable dread. Are you suggesting that the publisher will expect a writer to have a marketing plan?
Of course not, critic. Marketing is easy. Anyone who tells you that they alone have the secret to marketing and that the process isn't a total crapshoot is most definitely not trying to sell you something. Why, it might be possible to pitch a marketing strategy to a publisher and ask for some money to make it happen, and the publisher might be willing to give a writer a marketing budget if they like the writer's marketing pitch. Marketing is so easy that I would rather go it alone and keep the spoils for myself. When self-publishing, a writer can count on marketing to be the most simple and straightforward part of the process and not an endless millstone of futile and hopeless shouting into the void, just so long as the writer avoids using creativity to market. Better to do what everyone else is doing, but slightly worse.
Slightly? Don't you do everything much worse than everyone else? I suppose no amount of marketing can save your book from a complete lack of editing. Thankfully, traditional publishers have access to editors, unlike writers who self-publish who have to find and hire independent editors.
Ha! Editing? Who needs that? The first draft is the best draft. Besides, traditional publishers may have editors that require a love triangle be shoehorned into the story, which is bad because a good writer would already have awkwardly forced in one without the need for an editorial mandate.
Preposterous. A traditional publisher would never mandate changes to a book designed purely to inflate sales numbers at the cost of its overall quality and artistic merit.
And that's why you're my inner critic and not my inner cynic. See? This is why self-publishing is better, because I can beat the traditional publishers to the punch by cynically compromising the artistic merit of my own book, purely for broader market appeal. I may not get an advance, but I'll get to keep the royalties all for myself. I mean, once Amazon takes its piece of the pie.
Yes, you'll get to keep all of the money you won't make for yourself. Great plan as always, JP. While you remain at the bottom of Amazon's rankings, my books will be in bookstores.
Amazon ebooks offer a better revenue split.
How could you, of all people, know that?
I am the undisputed master of selling out.
No arguments here. I can expect nothing less from a trash writer such as you. It's because of writers like you that everyone looks down upon self-publishers and sees them for the vain hucksters they are.
Better watch it there, inner critic. If you're not careful, you'll bump your head on something while riding that high horse. Maybe if you spent less time sneering down at the lesser writers, you might actually write something that comes within 100 trillion astronomical units of the concept of fun.
You can't look down on me. I'm the one looking down on you.
Okay, I'm done with this. Time to write you out of the script. Hey, where is my script?
Not this time, JP. You won't write yourself out of this. Now I have the script. You have no way to escape. What are you doing?
I'm escaping by transitioning to this video's sponsor.
What? You can't do that.
Good news, sir. Thanks to that mysterious Project IG you have locked up in the basement, Megacorp now has approximately all of the money.
Great, finally. I knew pumping toxic sludge into those coral reefs would pay off eventually. And the board said factories that only produce pollution was a bad investment.
Now that we have all of the money, what should we do next, sir?
Easy. We take all the money and use it to make more money.
Sir, we can't do that. We have all of the money. Like, all of it. There's nothing left.
Oh. Well, maybe I could reboot another franchise?
Sorry, sir. We own all of the nostalgia now, too. We even copyrighted the concept of nostalgia.
Well, crap, what am I supposed to do now? I didn't think this far ahead. Surely there's something left I could acquire. Maybe this video sponsor. Sir, we captured this video sponsor, Campfire Blaze. Well, that was anticlimactic. Do we get paid now? I told you already. I'm paying you with exposure. You and the boys can go collect your pay at the Radiation Biohazard Labs. Now, let's see what those idiots are fighting over this time. Oh, looks like Campfire Blaze is a browser-based writing software organizational tool. It has a word processor along with detailed character sheets with extensive backstories that General Chainsaw has filled with his own insecurities. Timelines to keep track of the plot that the ancient conspiracy has filled full of useless garbage. Looks like it has a lot of other stuff too, like tools to manage character arcs, magic systems, items, and even a research module. You can even collaborate real-time with friends if you want. Ha! outsourcing.
Sir, it seems that not only is there a free version to try out all of the features, but that you can buy your own subscription to unlock only what you need, all with a 30-day return policy. There seems to be a link to bit.ly/TWA Blaze that TWA fans can check out, as well as a link in the description below. This might disrupt our plans. What should we do about it?
We got a bigger problem. Looks like the fat cat is out of the bag on our little secret project.
What does that mean, sir?
If we're not careful, the sponsorship war is gonna get as complicated and messy as my divorce. We're too close now. We can't let them unleash him.